out, but I'm still sweating in here, you know, and why am I doing it, right? It's because when you look at health and you want to get serious about certain things, you realize we have a lot of gifts around us that we can utilize if we see the importance of them. You know, a lot of people ask me about things that I do, and you know, I've been known to do some interesting things from time to time, but you know, I'm blessed to have access to a sauna. You know, this is a far infrared sauna. Again, the invisible light spectrum that we can't pick up in the infrared waves, and it does a lot of cool things and magical things for our body when we can put ourselves in an environment that's going to promote healing. So you know, just within the video chain of things of just helping share things that I've experimented with myself on my journey, and if I feel like it has efficacy for me, you know, repeatable truth, I'm, you know, gladly pass it on. So that's what these are for. People ask me, you know, saunas basically, it's just a way to help stimulate your internal systems, and we all know that if we can control one environment that will have the greatest impact, it's to control our internal environment. So hopping into, you know, a place, good thermal heat, and again, infrared waves, doing a lot of things, penetrating the physical tissues of the body in a healthy way, right? Most penetration that people do is, you know, invasive and surgical, or, you know, forcing foreign compounds and, you know, things created in laboratories that weren't designed by the interconnected flows of nature and the essence of nature and life that the ancients used to flow within, live within so beautifully. So this is a pretty non-invasive way to do it, and obviously you're going to listen to your body and flow with what feels right. People ask me, oh, how long you spend in there? How hot is it? What do you do in there? And I think there's just a lot of stuff in life that's overwhelming, and you know, maybe again, I can just simplify things through my experimentation with myself. And so yeah, saunas, very, very good. You want to, obviously, when you're going to be sweating, right? There's a lot of things. This is a diagnostic tool. If you hop in a sauna and, you know, it's hot in there and you're in there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, right? And you're not sweating, and that's telling you right then and there that your skin is plugged. And we know that the skin is the largest external detoxification organ. And if our skin is plugged, it means our body internally and our cells are not breathing, right? And that's a whole host of things: neurological stress, right? Physical toxin backup, and the mind and the body are interpenetrated beautifully and interwoven. So thoughts and emotions also become a hard domain to handle. So yeah, you want to look to see if you're sweating. If you're not sweating, you know, there's a lot of therapies out there. You know, there's so much to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this key to the sauna, but there are therapies to open up your pores, and Dr. Robert Kassar's got some really cool skin therapies, how to clean and wash your skin, so you can check him out. So yeah, you want to sweat, and obviously there's different types of sweating. The more open your pores are, the more you'll start to run through. If you can see, I'm like river sweating. I am like, my skin is crying right now. And we know that when we cry, we release toxins, right? So it's an emotional healing, it's a mental healing, and it's clearly a physical detoxification, right? So the skin is crying, and all of that symbolism, as well as just the concrete evidence that there's measurable things that your sweat is pushing out. A lot of times I've come out of here when I haven't done it in a while, and my sweat's been filmy. It hasn't been like clean at all. It's had this weird thing, and it's just things that are inside our bodies, right? So to kind of find a streamline of everything, you want to hydrate a lot. So if the skin's plugged, it's going to be plugged. You know, getting in the sauna a little bit will help, and then obviously you're going to have to find ways to help open up the skin. Even diet can change the quality of the skin and its functionability. So your diet will help dislodge things that have become solidified in there. And so you want to hydrate if you're coming into this environment, right? Typical protocols, very basic, you know, 40 ounces before you enter, 40 ounces during, and 40 ounces after. A lot of people think that that's a lot of water, but again, one of the most chronic diseases on the planet is dehydration, and you know, that might be the #1 disease. You know, there's a lot of #1 diseases: stress, inflammation, dehydration. just start taking care of those guys, and that's a great way to begin. So you load yourself up with the hydro, the water, you get all the agua in there, and you start letting it do its magic. I mean, we know that we're 70% water. We have, or at least somewhere around there, again, all these are just numbers that we derive the real meaning from. So we listen to science, but only to the extent that makes sense, because everything is a unified system. And one thing I've learned about science is that it compartmentalizes things and isolates things, and then it tries to master things in isolation, and it doesn't teach how anything integrates back into a whole unified system. There's no integrated whole, and to me there's no mastery in that process. There's just more confusion, more semantic head knowledge that's not connected to anything, and it's not practical or applicable to anything. So we want to find things that cover the whole totality of our being, and from there we have simple, repeatable, things that we can do every day. It doesn't have to be complex. We don't have to use big words that science throws at us. Again, science is a beautiful thing. We got to use it because it is a gift, and it's just incomplete. I think Greg Braden said it best, that science is just incomplete, and we are here. We are part of the completion process. So connecting to your humaneness inside, your inner human, will help that, right, with some critical thinking, and just letting the robotized mind just kind of settle down and start to contemplate things, right? And forgive me if I'm talking fast, there's always a lot to say, and that's another reason why I put it on the video, so you can just kind of go at your own pace and flow it through. So we said that there's far infrared waves, penetrate your body non-invasively. Your eyes can't see them, your senses can't pick them up, yet your body still responds. So there's a reality beyond our five senses that magnificently influences us. And when we learn how to work with that unseen world, which is the foundation of all matter, then we actually can start to harmonize and connect with the oneness that we all are. And if you have any disharmony or dis-ease in your body, your body is just at war with itself, and it's just fighting for resources, because everything has the impetus to live. Nothing wants to die. Good or evil doesn't matter. Everything wants to live, right? So find the way to harmonize yourself. 40 ounces of water before you come in, 40 ounces while you're in, right, and 40 ounces after. I got my water here. There's different types of water therapies you can take when you're in here, right? This is steam distilled water with MSM in it. I put some aluminum-free baking soda or sodium bicarbonate in it, and also some ionic minerals, right? Some magnesium ionic minerals, because my body is pushing things out right now, and so it's receptive to the next batch of water that I put in. And when I put in a good wave, I want it to be high information, right? So we're coming through here, we're sweating. How long do you spend in here? Everybody's different. We all have different thresholds. We all have, different things affecting our immune system and our energy levels. So, honor your body, right? Come back in and ask yourself how you're doing. Most people don't check in with themselves. They don't establish a rhythm in the morning to feel who they are. And they don't, revisit who they are during the day. And they get pulled into, the monkey mind or the goat brain or unconscious wave patterns that trick yourselves into thinking that you're actually thinking, when in fact you're not using critical thought. It's the subconscious mind masking itself into the conscious domain, but it's still shifting from the back seats and the gears, right? So it's really cool, the process of self-mastery, if you're interested. Life is as deep as you want it to go, but we do know that saunas are super healthy for us, right? And if you can do something that's really healthy for you, then it is a form of self-care and self-love. So 40 ounces of water before, 40 during, 40 after. Types of water is another thing. Skin cleaning is another thing. How long are you in here? Listen to your body, right? Every day is different. I'm going to give you the science of like a goal to aim for. So once your skin starts to open up, right, and you start river sweating, right? I mean, I'm just pouring. Rivers are running down right now. I got it everywhere, right? I'm drenched, right? And so basically, science says that once you start river sweating, at that point, you check the time, You know, see how long it took you to break into a river sweat. If your pores are open, they're going to break in faster, right? Your internal core temperature has to heat up as well. It could be a cold day, it could take a little longer. You could be in a hot climate and already be ready to start sweating if the pores are open. So pay mind to some of those influences, but the moment that you start river sweating, you check the time. Sorry guys, the phone overheated. It literally just couldn't take it. Back in action. So if you want to go, right, once you're flowing through here, you've river sweated, right, you've got your water, you're hydrated, the infrared waves are penetrating, doing a lot of things in your body, right? There's a lot of science behind that, whole nother topic, right? So if you want to go for a scientific, what science is saying is an average mean, right, is that 30 minutes after you start river sweating, so check the time, and then 30 minutes after, that is the equivalent of a 3-day water fast, metabolically. Of course, if you took 3 days and strung them out over linear time from your perception, you know, there would be different things, the factor of the will, right? How you navigate each moment, how mindful you are, your ability to understand what arises from the subconscious mind, right? Because you purge a lot of things when you bring time into a factor and draw out in fasting in that sense. But this is an internal environment that's speeding it up for the metabolic cycling of water so that it can regulate its systems, right? So 30 minutes past the river sweat would be equivalent of a 3-day water fast if you wanted to aim for a goal. Pay attention to your head centers, pay attention to your breathing, you know, obviously, you know, consult your doctor and do all of those things, and just come back and check in with yourself, you know, to see what's up with the protocols of everything. But saunas are very powerful, and they do a lot of wonderful things, right? I mean, to initiate the detox process is powerful because the body, there's nothing wrong with anybody's body. That's another thing that genetics says, that we have a finite genetic nature and that we are victim to what our genes say upon birth based off of the heredity we get from our parents and their grandparents and our ancestor lineage, right? It's not true from what epigenetics is coming through and saying, right? We can create and control the stimulus that affects the way proteins are built in our body, and the proteins, the hormones, the enzymes, they connect into the cell and go inside the cell, and then from there activate the DNA based off of how we've controlled the signal, right? So the raw material has on-off switches that you can go in either direction with. So you can upregulate genes that you like, and you can downregulate genes that you would not like to experience. Proven science, epigenetics, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden. They're called the Three Amigos. They're very cool. You can check out any of them, right? So you're just in here, you're purifying yourself, you're sweating through. Remember, we're 70% water, around there, something. Again, don't take numbers too analytically, just ballpark them and get patterns. Observe the patterns of life, and then you will start to find reoccurring truths that are beyond head knowledge and the language of words, right? There's a language of feeling and deeper precognitive awarenesses that supersede thoughts, and you know, it's time to expand our perceptual range of how we absorb knowledge and what we're connected to. And again, there's a lot of sensible science out there too, with a lot of disinformation out there, so you have to navigate, use your common and uncommon senses. But we're like 70% water-ish, and if we move that water, it moves through our systems. Our body, our systems are all filters. They're filtering our environment and our internal experience of how we're choosing to perceive the environment. Remember, two people can go into the same experience and they can have different perceptions of the same exact experience and have completely different realities, feel different thoughts and different emotions, and then have different chemistry produced inside of them. So stress management is very, very powerful, and it can tie right into spirituality. In fact, you know, spirituality is just a way to understand who you are as being, and then to take that into a tangible way that you can connect with science for the concrete mind to apply in a way that a lot of people are accustomed to thinking. We've been programmed to use our analytical mind pretty deeply. And again, there's no good or bad, guys. It's just, if things aren't working, try something new. You know, Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is to do the same things again and again and expect a different result. And, you know, be brave enough to try something new. Do your research first, enjoy yourself, And this sauna protocol is very rich. I've just touched on the tiniest little bit of it. And if you can move your water, it's going to move through the systems, and it's going to flush out anything that doesn't belong in the systems, and the body will reorganize itself. If you can clean the filters will begin to run the right programs that regrow your tissue the right way. Of course, you need nutrition, hydration, sleep, movement, internal awareness of quiet and happy balance forces inside as well. So I know I've said a lot, guys, and I'm just doing this because I want to share information. Again, I've gone through a lot of personal challenges, and I'm continuing to go through them. And you know, the stronger you get, life doesn't get easier. It actually gets a little harder sometimes, but you get stronger. So in relative space, you know, you're still sailing your ship. You know, rough seas never made smooth sailors, smooth seas never made skilled sailors. So enjoy yourself, and I'm gonna bring out more videos, and I'm just gonna share them with you. And anybody that's receptive are obviously more than welcome to tune in and experiment on yourself. And I will continue to share, and we can all continue to heal and grow and evolve together. All right, I love you guys. I hope your day's magical. I hope you find another connection into a piece of yourself that's always been there, and upon that, you restore yourself to a greater sense of self, and you find the peace that you already know you are. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great day.